Assalamu alaikum. This is PPC News and the report presented by Jamal Abdul Nasir. Mr. Syed Ali Shah Geelani's long and precious journey for the legitimate cause of Kashmiris started well before his formal political career, which started from the platform of Jamaat Islami in 1952. He soon rose to become district chief of Kupwara and Baramulla districts. Syed Ali Shah Geelani spent more than 12 years of his life in jail. He was first arrested in 1962 on the charges of raising the Kashmir issue. Geelani initially struggled for his cause through mainstream politics, but later on realized that the government of India had never been sincere in resolution of Kashmir issue. He staunchly opposed the enactment of Indian Draconian Law of Public Safety Act (PSA) and openly challenged the Chief Minister Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah when he introduced the stringent Public Safety Act in the region. The act, termed as lawless by Amnesty International, was brought to be used against timber smugglers. However, it was later modified to imprison political vices. Under the law, anyone could be imprisoned for up to 2 years without trial. Syed Ali Shah Geelani played an active role in formulation of Muslim United Front (MUF) in 1987. Ahead of provincial elections, all Muslim parties came under a single platform against pro-India parties, including National Conference. Only 4 candidates of the platform, including Geelani, however, managed to secure seats due to alleged rigging. Geelani, along with the 3 other winners, were jailed by Indian government. This was the watershed movement, which marked the beginning of indigenous armed resistance against Indian unlawful occupation of illegally Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The National Conference Congress political alliance formed a government, which was dissolved in early 1990s as the armed rebellion broke out. Lawyers and activists were jailed and political activity banned. Geelani and comrades resigned in protest. In 1992, Foundation of All Parties Hurriyat Conference (APHC) was laid. It was a platform of at least 30 pro-freedom parties to take forward Kashmir's fight for right to self-determination. The JEI was represented by Geelani. Geelani's uncompromising stand boosted his popularity graph among the youth. A senior Kashmir-based journalist, Muhammad Ashraf Sehrai, launched the Hurriyat. Geelani emerged a prominent face when Kashmiris held mass civil uprising post 2008. In 2009, he launched a demilitarization movement. And in 2010, when 3 civilians were killed in a fake encounter along the LOC in Machal area of Kupwara district by Indian forces, a mass uprising was triggered. Geelani was at the forefront in 2016 after the killing of popular young freedom Burhan Wani at the hands of Indian security forces. Geelani, along with Mirwais Umar Farooq and Muhammad Yasin Malik, organized protest against the brutal action of Indian occupation forces. After the Indian government revoked Article 370 and 35A from its constitution, scrapping the country's only Muslim majority state with its autonomy, Geelani remained consistent with the struggle prior to revocation of special status. Syed Ali Shah Geelani was remained house arrested after 5 August 2019 till his death. Indian government, fearful of his stature, denied proper burial of great Kashmiri leader and was internationally condemned for his brutal and inhuman act. Geelani has authored at least 30 books, including his autobiography Wulur Kinare, are on the banks of Wulur Lake. In grave violation of HRs, the family of iconic Kashmiri leader was denied performing the last rites, and Syed Ali Shah Geelani was laid to rest in a tight military siege at Hyderpura in Srinagar. As the family was preparing for the last rites of Syed Ali Shah Geelani, a heavy contingent of the Indian occupation forces raided his residence in Srinagar, harassed the family members, and took away Syed Geelani's body. Indian government was afraid of Geelani's leadership abilities during his entire life and resorted to the inhuman act even after his passing away. Indian authorities had put strict restrictions on people's movement, and the whole area was cordoned off. A curfew was imposed in the valley, and all All internet service suspended. The veteran leader has lost breath in custody and buried under strict lockdown. The Indian government tried to justify its barbaric action of burying Syed Ali Shah Geelani as necessary to maintain law in other situations. However, people of Kashmir term it as a blatant act to human rights abuse. On the other hand, the family and other Kashmiri leaders described it as a matter of extreme prejudice against the role of iconic Kashmiri leaders' struggle for the rights of Kashmiri people. The serious HRAs by Indian government in case of performing of last rites and burial of 92 years old veteran Kashmiri leader was condemned by OIC and covered by important international news agencies and papers like Reuters, Washington Post and France 24. The serious HRAs by Indian government in case of performing of last rites and burial of 92 years old veteran Kashmiri leader was condemned by OIC and covered by important international news agencies and papers like Reuters, Washington Post and France 24. Pakistan condemned India's barbaric act of snatching Syed Ali Shah Geelani's body.